You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast. And this is show number 564 for Sunday, the 21st of September, 2025.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jane.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are we doing? I'm a little bit cold because I had a week in Italy and I had temperatures of 29 and 30 degrees, and I've come back to the UK. What is the weather doing?
Yeah, it's spritzing.
It's 21st of September. Is that not the start of fall? Is that when we switch over? I know we don't alter the clocks yet,
Yeah,
but isn't that the official start of autumn, fall, whatever you'd like to call it?
autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a tree down. That was our exciting news this week. A tree fell and we couldn't get out because it blocked the road.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
we're so
I
good, the
know.
British, aren't we, with weather? We just go to pieces. It doesn't. If it's a slight breeze, we go all yeah, not good with weather, the Brits.
But the happy news is we have got cows back in the field around us, and there's some little calves, and his little cute face is adorable.
Oh well, at least you have that to look at every day, Michelle, when you come out your
I
house.
do. And it's so lovely that they just sort of position themselves to sort of like give me a little smile as I drive past. You know, a
Oh,
little raising of the hoof, a little chewing of the cud. It just makes me feel so happy.
no, you big softy.
Anyway, I know. Let's digress and get on to the podcast because we have got a lot of things to start unpacking on this week's show. And as usual, we are going to start with On This Day in Disney History. And I'm
Ooh.
taking us back in our time traveller to
Mhm.
1904. 1968, a novel was released called Escape to Witch Mountain. Do you remember it?
I am aware of the movie, not so much the novel, I will
Yeah.
have to admit.
Well, the film was released by Disney Productions in 1975 and then followed by two sequels, Return from Witch
Of
Mountain
course.
and then a 60-minute TV special, Beyond Witch Mountain, in 1982. And yeah, the writer, science fiction writer Alexander Key was born in Maryland, USA on this day in 1904.
Wow.
And then a little bit of girl power.
Mhm.
1909, Ruth Patricia Shellhorn was born in Los Angeles, California. And 1955, big opening time for Disneyland. She
Mm.
was a landscape architect working in South Pasadena. And some 3 months before the opening of Disneyland, Walt personally went to her and asked to contribute her extensive talents to his new exciting theme park. And she served as a liaison between the Disney studios and the hired designers and was responsible for Town Square, Main Street, the Plaza, and eventually other areas of the theme park, and my favourite personally being Frontierland.
Oh.
Nice little quote from her. Even at the time of my introduction to the project in March 1955, there were no buildings started in Tomorrowland, just one in Frontierland, and only parts of the Main Street section and the castle were in evidence. So it just goes to show how rapidly
Yeah.
Disneyland was built in comparison to Tron, which took 16 years.
I was just going to say, there's something that I think, the current set of Imagineers, designers, engineers perhaps need to take a look back. And I mean, I'm sure there was things that were done back in 1955 that we wouldn't be able to get away with nowadays from health and safety point of view. But it does ask you the question, doesn't it? Why did things get done so quick back then and not so quick now? Be interesting to see the TV show that's coming out, which is looking at all the rediscovered footage from when Disneyland was being constructed. That could be quite an eye opener as to how it all came together.
Yeah. Now, us in Yorkshire, like
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Mm-hmm.
we have a bit of a saying, and it be reet,
It'd be
meaning
yeah,
everything will be okay. And I
absolutely.
imagine a lot of health and safety historically will be, oh, you see that live wire over there? Just go up the ladder and grab it with that metal pair of tongs. It'd be right.
It'd be right. What,
Yeah.
what our listeners didn't see there, Michelle, was the fact that I just took a mouthful of coffee as you started to regale me with that, and I nearly burst out laughing, which would have been a disaster because I'd have had coffee all over my keyboard.
Yeah, and I can't jump next to you to do the Heimlich either, so sorry. So our third birthday is
hmm
Jerome Leon Jerry Buckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah, a film and television producer. He was born in Detroit on this day, 1943. Oh my word.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
big movies, and when I say big movies, it's very much his mark on the film industry is doing those big, spectacular blockbuster type movies, isn't it?
absolutely. And, so many films I watched during the 80s are credited for him.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially if there was something involved going into space or something that involved lots of special effects.
Absolutely. Yeah, agreed. Love a bit of space. Love a bit of space. Anything to do with space. Love Space Mountain. Although, quirkily, can I just say, on
hmm
this trip, this is a
Mm.
slight digression, I didn't ride Space Mountain once.
But I did, Michelle, and I don't like roller coasters, and I don't like roller coasters in the dark, and even I rode it on my most recent trip.
I don't know what it was, but there was just something about Space Mountain that just seemed to be down every time. I got some great footage of it going through on the TTA with the lights on.
Oh, we kind of rode it then by proxy.
Yeah, I'm now going to take you by the hand to 2012,
Mm.
and literally thousands gathered at the Disneyland Resort to witness a historic flyover of the Space Shuttle Endeavour as it made its final flight towards its new home in Southern California.
Oh,
And I've
wow.
been to see it in its home in Southern California, and it is pretty spectacular.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't
yeah.
know you'd seen it in its current situ, so oh, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, all about that. So, we've had some fun this week. Oh, my Lord.
Go
This
on.
is where I want to play the Mission Impossible theme tune.
Do
Can you
do
hum
do
it?
do do do
Do,
do
do,
do
do, do,
do
do,
do
do, do,
do do.
do, 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 do. Yeah. So, basically, this just
Don't even know where
starts.
this is going, for people.
So
Oh, crikey! Michelle is now
calm
laughing.
down, calm down.
We may not get her back. Can you just give us 2 minutes?
Okay. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Authorities in Orlando are looking for a man who appeared decked out in his scuba gear in connection with a robbery at a popular Disney owned entertainment area. AKA, someone got dressed in his scuba gear and swam to paddlefish, robbed it, and swam back again. Now, how do they know this person wore scuba gear? And to be honest, Jane, it looks like one of my year fives going swimming because they've got goggles and everything. It's not very executive style. Yeah, there
It's
is a
bizarre,
picture of
isn't
this
it?
gentleman dressed in this kit with swimming goggles, and he's obviously got the spray paint, so he knew where the sort of
Cameras
CCTV
were,
camera was, and
yeah.
he's there squirting it all up so nobody can record how stupid he looked. And what talk about a heist? He swam to paddlefish, facing what knows what in the water. Is there some predators out there? Is there some form of brain eating bacteria? Heavens knows. But basically, he went and stole money from paddlefish. I saw figures in the region of 5 figures, maybe $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're laughing at this, but thankfully the staff that were on site at the time are maybe a little bit traumatized, but they were unhurt, and they did raise the alarm after he'd left the scene. But yeah, it does sound like something out of a Mission Impossible or a heist movie or a James Bond or something. I think it's the scuba gear. It's just, and but like, where's he come from?
It's
How
come from
how
the Black Lagoon.
but how far has he swam?
I have no idea.
It's going to be
Possibly he's swum
interesting,
over
isn't it?
from Saratoga Springs. I don't know, but if
Yeah.
there's a way you can think of an alternate getaway, he has to get some kudos for that.
Well,
Seriously.
obviously well thought out, and the chap must have known what he was doing. I mean, we're laughing. It's not really funny, but it is kind of funny.
I just remember there was this swimming woman I saw, and I can't remember who played her on the TV. And I remember her battles with trying to do all these long distance swimming things.
Mm,
She didn't wear scuba gear, she just slathered herself up in that Vaseline or duck fat or something. But I
yeah.
wouldn't have wanted to have, anyway. I think it is a very creative way to rob a restaurant and to try and get an idea of this person, because you can't see his face or her face. You can't see anything. There's no fingerprints because they wore gloves. So heavens above know how they're going to catch this person unless you find them in possession of this scuba homemade gear, or paddlefish sort of secretly numbered all of their notes and bills that they took. And yeah,
Yeah, I suppose to make it a true Mission Impossible, you want to think that the money that they've got away with is one of those exploding paint things in it. So when they do get it home, they're going to be covered in glitter or paint or something.
but if they're still wearing the homemade DIY scuba gear, they won't get covered in it because it'll be all over their scuba gear. So if you see anything on Vinted, anyone selling a slightly used, slightly dodgy scuba gear covered in glitter or bright pink paint, you know why. It's the paddlefish paddler.
Paddlefish paddler.
That's what it's going to be known as.
We will wait with bated breath to see how this story develops or not, as the case may be.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to do a leap, hop, and a jump and now talk about Christmas.
Yay, like a bit of Christmas.
Are you ready for Christmas? Come on,
Christmas.
Neil. Yeah, they have released the 2025 lineup for the Candlelight
Like
Processional.
processional.
And it's a yearly look through of Who Are You? And I must say, this year, I am really excited by some of the new people they've got. And
Okay.
if I just do an impression, see if you can guess who it's going to be. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Hey!
It's the Fonz. It's
You know,
Henry Winkler.
I know. And the only thing I can think of right now is when Phoebe from Friends was giving birth to all the babies, and she got the doctor who was a fan.
Yes.
I don't know about you, Jane, but there were
Mm.
certain like a keystone, the Rosetta Stone of English people to understand American culture. And for
Yes.
me, one of the earliest shows was Happy Days.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's that element of, I mean, obviously it kind of played into a sanitized version of the 1950s, I suppose. But yeah, it was a kind of our little lookhole through into American culture, wasn't it? American society, because
Mm.
we didn't get that back in the day, crikey, we didn't get that many American programs. And when we did get them, I think we mentioned this last week with the Golden Girls, we always seemed to have to wait 2, 3, 4 years after they'd been first been shown in the States anyway. So because this was set in that sort of era, it didn't actually matter when it was shown. So I seem to remember it was one of those shows that felt like it was on constant repeat in the UK, which I never
Mm.
minded, don't get me wrong. It was always a nice, easy watch.
True. So let's have a look. We've got Constance Wu,
Yeah,
Jordan Fisher,
yeah,
Jennifer Garner,
yeah.
Ashley Eckstein,
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Macchio,
Yeah.
Leslie Ugams,
Mm-hmm.
Marley Matlin,
Yeah.
Fonzie,
Mr. Winkler.
Lauren Diadl, I've no idea,
No, me neither.
Garish Sinise.
Yeah, classic.
So that's the 18th to the 19th of December, isn't it, Janie?
It is Michelle, yes.
It is. So I've just been looking at my school calendar, and sadly, I don't break up from school until the 19th of December. So there is no way possible that I can go and see Gary, because to me, that gentleman is amazing. Not only is he an amazing actor, and I have
Mm.
loved him in so many things, so many things. I can't believe he's 70, by the way, born in
No.
1955. The same, yeah, 70, born in 1955.
Well, it looks good for it.
He does. I want to know what his skincare routine is. He's obviously known for playing Lieutenant Dan,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also got his own music group called the Lieutenant Dan Band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he likes a little bit of music, does the old Gary Sinise. But for me, the thing that I love about him the most, he is a massive, massive supporter of charity work.
Mm.
He advocates for veterans in the United States, and he has his own foundation, and he looks to supporting veterans. And one thing I admire the most about Americans is the fact that they do that. And I
Mm-hmm.
know at the moment we're having this wave of patriotism, of putting flags everywhere and painting roundabouts for the St. George's Cross. I think in America they do patriotism amazingly, and
Absolutely.
I feel really angry that it's taken another issue to bring up the fact that we aren't proud of our heritage and our flag. And I think the
Abs-
way it's being used right now isn't quite right.
Yeah, I mean it's a political nightmare which I don't think we're going to get into.
No.
But I also think as well that we don't. I'm not aware, Michelle, put it this way, of what we do for our veterans in this country. Whereas in the US, the apparentness to us in the UK is that you look after your veterans. It may not be that, I don't know, but I think that's the perception that we have as UK based people, is that the US, the Americans are a lot more patriotic and look after those that have served, whereas it's not as obvious in this country that we do that.
True. Anyway, back to the
Yeah.
podcast.
Mm.
20th to 22nd, Brendan Fraser, who I'm not really bothered about seeing.
Oh, okay.
23rd to the 24th, Luis Fonsi.
Mm.
25th to 26th, getting the big, big, big role, Joel Smallbone.
I don't know that name. Should I know that name, Michelle?
He's an Australian singer, seemingly, and
Oh.
as a member of the Christian pop duo For King and Country, along with his brother Luke. So we should basically say, G'day, it's going to be a Australian Christmas.
Yeah, I apologise for not knowing him.
Yeah, I don't know them either. It looks quite dishy. So, maybe if I'm able to persuade to go over to Disney for Christmas, maybe I'll go and sort of say hi to Joel and say, do you fancy grabbing a burger or something and having a chat?
Ooh.
27th to 28th, Brie Larson, and
Mm-hmm.
then Cheryl Lee Ralph up to the 30th. And quite a lot of new people, but there's a lot of people there
Mm.
that, where's Neil? Where is Neil Patrick Harris?
Well, I was going to say the standout obvious missings are Neil Patrick Harris
Yeah.
and the name of the guy escapes me who's done it. Oh, God, blimey, I'm useless at names. I know who I'm talking about, which is no help whatsoever. But yes, there's quite a few big names that you would associate with the Candlelight Processional that just don't appear to be there this year. But like you say, lots of new names. So maybe this is the year for a bit of new blood coming in.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because they can't afford Whoopi. Anyway, we are now going to digress off all of that good news and take you back to August
Oh, when it was warm and sunny.
and summer. And
Yay.
oh, I just want to sing like Olaf. I wonder what Frozen's they do in summer. I need Josh Gad. Josh Gad, why aren't you on
Yeah,
the
that's another
list?
name that's missing as well, isn't it?
Yes, I know. Anyway, so I arrived in Walt Disney World on Friday, the 22nd of August,
Mm.
and my flight arrived a little bit early, which was always a boon. I got quickly through the immigration, grabbed my cases, and got in an Uber all the way over to Pop Century. It was late,
Nice.
I was tired, I didn't want to mess around with Mia's, but again, I got ripped off on the journey over. It cost an
No.
extortionate amount of money, and I need to learn this. I either have to be prepared to walk to the Uber bit rather than going with the on site taxis or wait for Mia's because it's ridiculous how much I paid, especially when I paid less than a third of that price to get the Uber back to MCO.
Ah, that's not good then.
No. So anyway, I arrived quite late at Pop and I got my luggage. I knew I'd had a delivery from Instacart because I'd had some water delivered. So I got myself sorted out with my room key. I went round to Bell Services and I just said to the lady, are the porters able to bring over my water? And she didn't quite get what I was wanting. So
Mm.
she came out with it on a big trolley. Okay, fine. So I put the cases on the trolley and then scootled across past the bowling pin to the 50s section. And I ended up with the world's biggest bruise on my leg because I had a runaway trolley at one point. But hey ho, we got a refurbished room, was very, very
Nice.
nice. I've shared the pictures on the Instagram. The main difference to me is that there's a painted rug on the lino. And now I don't know if it is painted or printed, but it's a painted rug effect.
Oh, okay.
Now, I personally, if I was in charge of the refurb at Pop Rooms, I
Mm.
would have spent the money on the protection equipment to go around the edge of the Murphy bed when that is down.
Yeah, it needs like rubber bounce or something, doesn't it?
Yeah. But of course, as usual, because I've been there so many times, I deployed the Michelle proof sticking in towels to the corners so that it's not an issue. Lovely room, fabulous location. Very interesting to see an entire block of Pop is not in use at the moment as it's been refurbished.
Oh, so which block is that then that's down?
Um, I think it was the orange one. I didn't really pay that much notice, Jane.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It wasn't my room.
Oh, that's all right then. We shall see what it's like in later on the year when I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. Got unpacked, got myself sorted, got myself all tucked up, and had an early night and rose incredibly early,
Mm.
leaving my room at, are you ready for this? This is holiday. I left the room at 7 a.m.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
it's the old time difference kind of does weigh in our favour, doesn't it? The first couple of days.
it does. I was literally at the bus stop for 7:07 and a bus pulled up. I was at Animal Kingdom for 7:25.
Nice, well done.
So I had to think about my strategy because it was early opening at
Mm.
8 o'clock. I believe it was 8 o'clock. And I wanted to do the safari because that is the main reason for me to going there. But on my
Mm.
last trip, I never did Flight of Passage because the queues are just crazy.
Mm.
So my beeline plan was to go to Flight of Passage, get in the line. Now, when I arrived, they hadn't actually opened the interior queue ride line.
Yeah.
So it was backed up virtually all the way to Lion King.
Mm.
It looked horrendous. And I think that put a lot of people off. I wasn't put off. I joined the queue. And as I say, I joined the queue by about 20 to 8. Now I believe they didn't start the ride open, the ride
Mm.
being operational till 8 o'clock.
Right.
So I got in the first pre-show at 8:20 and I was done by 8:40.
It's not bad going, really, is it?
As I left, the queue line was 75 minutes.
Yeah. I can say and that thing first thing in the morning, don't get put off by those long lines because, like you say, they may not have even let you inside the building to queue.
exactly. And I still think the best strategy is if you want to do Flight of Passage, knock that out. And then went over to Navi River Journey. It was posted a 50-minute wait.
Mm.
I got there at 8:42,
Mm-hmm.
including the ride and the line. I was out by 9:12. So
So that,
literally the whole thing, the line, the attraction, getting off the attraction, exiting, 30 minutes. The queue was actually 22 minutes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it
So
doesn't always work, does it? But yeah, always, yeah. I think the tendency is that they over egg it a little bit.
yeah, because they said it was a 50-minute wait. It was not a 50-minute wait.
No.
So I got off there at 9:12.
Mm-hmm.
I went over and rope dropped Festival of the Lion King. This was my strategy, and I think my strategy worked really well. I was the first person in the queue at 9:25, and they let us in, the lovely Mo cast member, at 9:40. And
Mm-hmm.
this is a bit of a hack because the other shows, they don't let you in so early because
Right.
they've got the finishing off and everything. But the
Yeah.
first show, they let you in a lot earlier.
Ah, okay.
So I got an amazing view, front row behind the disabled. I left at 10:30 and I walked over to Kilimanjaro Safaris just as it was starting to drizzle.
Ah, okay.
It was posted a 45-minute wait.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay. Anyway, it wasn't 45 minutes, it was 27 minutes.
Wow.
15 minutes into that queue, the heavens opened with thunder, lightning, the lot. Luckily, at that point, I was in the covered area of the queue and I was sort of thinking, thank you.
I was just going to say, hopefully you were undercover at that point.
Yeah, but it's typical, isn't it? It was the first day of the trip. Who'd not brought her poncho with her?
Michelle.
Who took her poncho every single other day and never needed it?
Michelle.
It's SOD's law. Anyway, I got on the attraction, and I think by that time it was 11 o'clock, and it was the best safari ever because it was still
Really?
a bit drizzly. The
Yeah.
animals were going crazy. They
A
were
little
everywhere.
bit cooler maybe because of the rain,
Yeah,
so they were out and
yeah.
about.
Now, Tyler was our guide. He was hysterical. He was brilliant. He knew everything. You know the elephant bathing pool that you go
Mm.
past, and there's
Mm-hmm.
never any elephants in
It's
it?
in it, yeah.
We had two female elephants, and just as we got to that point, in the middle, the baby popped its head out of the water.
Oh, cute.
It was fantastic for seeing animals. The lions were out, the giraffes were out, the warthogs were out, the spotted dogs, painted dogs were out, everybody. It was fabulous.
Worth it then.
Absolutely. I then power walked over to see Nemo,
Mm-hmm.
and I got there at 11:45. So bearing in mind I got on the safari at 11, I
Mm.
got to Nemo at 11:45. It started chucking it down again, but I was in for the 12 o'clock show, lasted 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I had to walk back past Everest, I thought I'd try out the single rider queue. So at 12:30, I got in the single rider.
Mm.
I rode it once, I rode it twice, I rode it 3 times a lady
Wow.
in 30 minutes.
Cracking.
So I was just going back round and round and I could have continued because the single rider line was working really efficiently.
Nice to
So
see.
yeah, I went to the Maharaja Jungle Trek, didn't see anything, but while I was trekking, I mobile ordered for Satuli. I got the kids' chicken bowl,
Mm-hmm.
$9, got a bottle of water, went over there, got it, ate my lunch, fantastic. And when you think about it, the only thing that I didn't do is I
Mm.
didn't see the flight show, the birds in flight. I
Mm.
didn't do Kali River Rapids
Yeah.
and I didn't ride Dinosaur.
Okay.
This was about 1:30, and I had ridden everything.
Everything else. Yeah. Yeah.
I had seen 2 big shows,
Mm.
so it is possible to do Animal Kingdom really well. Now, if I wanted, I could have stayed and done Birds in Flight, Cali River Rapids, and still have been out of there by 2:30.
Yeah.
So at the moment, don't program Animal Kingdom for a full day because it is not a full day park.
No, but it also goes to show, Michelle, if you go in with a planner, you know what you're doing, rather than making things up as you go along,
Hmm.
also weighs in your favour, doesn't it?
True. And I wasn't afraid on the day to pivot and go this direction, because what I did next was a massive pivot. It was not pleasant in the sky. So I got
Mm.
my bus back to Pop and I took an Uber to the outlets.
Went shopping instead.
Yeah, got to the outlets at 3 o'clock. I had a 15-minute wait for the Disney character outlet. I had an amazing little wander round, got some bits and pieces. I was a little bit upset all the amazing Haunted Mansion merch that I wanted wasn't there.
Mm.
However, I was able to pick myself up the Festival of Arts Orange Bird spirit jersey. Sorry,
Wow.
Flower and Garden, not
Oh, the
Festival
flower
of
and
the
garden.
Arts.
Yeah, the flower and garden. Yeah.
Jane, it was $15 reduced from 80.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
And then I also got a embroidered shirt as well. That was $25. So I picked up quite a few really good bargains.
Mm.
So got my Uber back to Pop, got changed, and I got on the bus to the Magic Kingdom. And I just thought, you know what? I'll see how the night goes. If I want to stay for fireworks, I'll stay. If I want to stay for the parade, I'll stay. But I felt the first thing I wanted to do was go check out Pecos Bills
Okay.
because they had all the new menu changes where you can get your protein to go in these bowls.
Oh, yes, yes. So what did you have then?
I had the chicken nacho bowl with double rice.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out with the tax at $9.36, and I got a little mini bottle of water. I didn't even eat both bowls of rice. There was too much food.
Yeah.
So I just thought, okay, I'm now fed. Went to Tomorrowland. Space and Tron were down. I rode TTA with an unbelievable 20 minutes wait. And I just thought, it's 8:15. I could stay for the parade. I could stay for the fireworks. But you know what? I thought,
Well, to be fair, Michelle, you'd had a pretty full-on day with a little bit of jet lag as well.
yeah. So I'd probably spent on the day $23 on food.
Wow.
I'd spent what, $23, $24 on Ubers.
Mm-hmm.
I felt tired. I was full. So I went back at 8:15 and had shower, acclimatized, got into my nice little cozy bed and watched a bit of TV and set the alarm for a ridiculous time for the second day of the monster trip.
You're full on planning and sticking to the plan as well.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure that on this trip there were certain things I really wanted to do. And there were
Mm.
certain things that I was just like, well, do you know, it's not going anywhere. I'm not that fussed. I'm not that bothered. But for me to have a really good time at Animal Kingdom, I felt in my head if I was to go back to Animal Kingdom, I possibly would have gone up to Rafiki's Planet Watch and I probably would have ridden Dinosaur. But seriously, how many times can a person say goodbye to Dinosaur?
Well, I think we did it a fair few times when we were there back in February, March, and it's still going strong, isn't it? So,
Yeah. So I just called it a day, and I felt for me it was a very successful day. I'd got a lot of cheap merch, and
mm,
I'd had a great day. Did it bother me I was on my own completely for the whole day? No, it was
no,
amazing
yeah,
because I could do what I wanted.
yeah.
And I think other people shouldn't be feeling that intimidated by going on a Disney trip on your own because
Oh
it's
no,
liberating. And if you want to talk to someone who's in the line. They may think you're crazy, but you know what? They might not, and they might be knowing your vibe, and you'll meet some lovely people.
and if they do think you're crazy, that's probably you're probably not going to bump into them again, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. I could be telling them all sorts of lies. but I wouldn't. But hey ho.
No, but I think sometimes, you know the people that are there are of a similar mindset, as in they're wanting to have a lovely day at a Disney theme park. Therefore, passing the time of day with people actually, I think, is just a genuinely nice thing to do. I think it means that if you're stuck in a queue with other people, we had some fabulous conversations and stuff. So yeah, just do it. People don't mind that much, and if they don't want to talk, well, that's fine. Find somebody else to talk to.
Exactly. I found some lovely people I was having a chat with. They were there on the honeymoon. It was lovely. I said congratulations because they were wearing their little sort of I'm celebrating badge, and we just hit it off. And you
Yeah.
know what your people look like. There's always something. Oh, I like your shirt. Oh, I like your bag. Oh, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. It's easy to do that. Or if they've got a kid, oh, can I give your child a sticker? Right, lovelies. I think we will round off this week's podcast just there. Please catch up on over at Diz Dream Girls on Instagram. I'm sharing quite a lot of my trip, but also I'm getting content from a very dear friend who's over there right now. He's actually ridden Dinosaur for the last time in forever this afternoon himself. So it's always lovely to get that sort of like connection with other members of our family and their trips.
Yeah,
If you want to
definitely.
ask us a question, set us a challenge, just drop us a line. It's info@disneydreamgirls.com. And our final thank you goes out to our amazing Patreon supporters. Thank you ever so much for doing what you do by dropping a few dollars our way to keep the podcast up and running. I hope you really enjoyed the tour of the Disney Fantasy that we dropped for you last week. There is more to come, so stay tuned. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.